Right, welcome back. How we all doing? Are you hearing me loud and clear? Can you see everything all right? Drink some tea. All right. Thanks for tuning in last night. We got a little downbeat hip hop thing going where we did some resampling, trying to get that old school vibe, and then we went full Minneapolis funk with like an 80s groove. I'm going to do a bit more work on those over the coming days, but I think today we're going to do something different. I'm thinking like maybe like a lo-fi hip hop thing. Just want to make sure that everybody can see everything. I'm going to pull up. Let's have a look. How should we start today? Let's get a little chord progression going, I think. Let's get something nice to play with, like Alicia's Keys, quite a nice piano sample. Let's see if that inspires us. Cool. We're hearing the piano and everything, yeah? Let's go. Right, how am I going to do this? Hang on. I'll take my tea with me. So this is a piano sample from Native Instruments called Alicia's Keys. It was sampled with by Alicia Keys' very own Yamaha C3. And I know yesterday we did quite electronic beatsy things. I think today maybe we'll have a look at trying to structure a bit of song. That's kind of nice reverse. That's a bit high for me. Let's try B flat. Yeah, that sounds good. So, what I'm doing when I'm trying to put a song together, and again, you know, everything we do on this channel is completely from scratch. Is once I've got a bit of a chord structure, that's chord 1. That's 5. That's chord 5, but it's minor because it kind of pulls us down to the 4. And then I've got this 7 chord, which is like a 11th. So it's an A flat 11. And when I'm sort of playing like this, I find it useful to just sort of try and sing nonsensical lyrics, you know, just anything that. You don't find out, baby. Can't believe this, ask me why. You know, so you can start to get a bit of a feel for how a song might take shape. It's all right. Let's. I'm just going to go straight back into Ableton and start looping these up, so we can start to structure it. So you should be able to see Alicia's keys there. Let's get rid of that. Ableton. We're going to tap a tempo in. That feels good. Right, that sounds cool. And I'm going to rename this because I always forget to rename my tracks. I'm doing it now. And you can see that first cell. I guess that's what we're going to call the verse, I think, for now. So I could go ahead and rename this whole scene. Right, that's going to be our verse. Let's see, where can we go? So we're in B flat. If anybody wants to shout any chords out, feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. So that could be like a little pre. So we've got this. That's the verse to a bridge. Yep, that's going to be a bridge, obviously. What I did is it was Alright, so we got that in there. Let's just quickly head back over, look at this piano part, because I was definitely rushing ahead a little bit there. Hold up. So you can see down here, I've got all the MIDI information from what I've just played. If we fold this, actually it looks alright there. Did I rush that bit? Let's see. That passage there. So what we're going to do, I'm not going to completely quantize it so it's like bang on the beat. I'm just going to do a 50% quantize. And you'll just see these notes, they'll just shift 50% closer to, to where they're meant to be. Maybe I could do it again. There you go. And then these last are definitely rushed, and these want to be on the beat because that's what the drum's going to be doing. All right, cool. And I'm going to rename this little scene here the bridge, I guess. All right, cool. I mean, obviously what we're all hearing is... But I'm wondering if we could... maybe do have a key change chorus. We're getting quite a gospel feel here, aren't we? Maybe. Could we go to that D flat? Or could we go to D? Don't know. What do we reckon? Let's put it all together. Here's another part of the verse. I got the time behind. About the time I just on your mind. Yeah, I think going up to the D, it's like it's quite a jump away, but come on, it's groovy and it's different. This is all going to make sense when we put drums in, and also it needs to be quicker than what I originally recorded. So let's have a listen back to what we've got. Let's just try whacking this chorus now. Maybe, I don't know, because so far it's quite cushiony. Okie dokie. Let's see what we got here. I'm starting to regret doing this in Ableton now because I feel like I'm boxing myself in, but we'll keep going with it. So now I can play these back off the thing. So let's just check it all out together. To a bridge and we need a vocal for this. I'm not sure. If anybody fancies singing on this, hit me straight up in the DMs and we'll get you on it. Yeah, so it's like we've got two key centers there, and that's done deliberately. Just otherwise, it's just the same as every other tune. Let's have, some of the classic songwriters like the Bee Gees were famous for jumping up there, and obviously Stock Aitken and Waterman, the pop writers of the 80s. Okay, so at the moment it sounds like every other sort of singer-songwritery piano thing. So what I want to do now is to try and create some identity with the music, so it's not just that. And there's a few ways we can go about doing that. I'm going to drag another instance of Contact over here. And here we go. I've got this thing called Tempo that I've been having fun with. And it's like a beat making module. This company are amazing. They're called Teletone Audio. And everything they make just sounds instant vintage. Yeah. It's just, everything's got that really nice sounding kits. So let's just audition a few. All right. Okay. Oh, here we go. We've got some singers already. They'll be fating for this one. All right, so I've got this Contact player up here, and you can see that I've got these sort of sound design options. It's like a wicked bit of beat making fun toy. So what I can do is start to tune these drums a little bit. So you can hear that rim shot. So just tuning the snare down to start with. And I want the rim to be really present. So I can compress it. Fatten it up a little bit. I think that kick can come down in tune a bit. Right on. So let's just go in and you know, drop that in. Let's get the metronome on, shall we? Because otherwise I'm going to be screwed. Hold up. Okay, cokes. Alright, so we can see straight away some of these are out a little bit. What we've got in live, which is Ableton Live, what I'm using here, is I can either quantize it like I did before, or we've got this little pool here, which brings up the groove templates. So I can, where the hell are my grooves? Oh yeah, okay. Grooves. So you can look at what these. If I apply this groove to this drum pattern, what happens is it will start to quantize it by a certain amount, but it's not like a fixed grid thing. It's pre-done. So this is shuffling, isn't it? It's not going dum boom boom. It's going boom. So the 16ths are grooving. So if I can find something that sort of shuffles those 16ths a little bit. Let's just try it. So what you're hearing is what the 16ths sound like. So if we apply that to this groove, you can hear that. That's quite a heavy swing. That's got it. Raise the pitch of the rim click. Okay. Oh yeah. So before I looked at that, down here I can now commit this groove. So for anybody that's just missed what I've just done, I played in the drum pattern kind of loosely. Normally I leave it quite loose, but it just wasn't grooving. So instead of hitting the quantize button and pulling it to the thing, I went up here and found a predetermined sort of human feel that I could then drag into this groove pool and commit. Anyway, enough of that. Right, let's, what are you saying, Phil? You want me to raise the pitch of the rim click? Let's have a listen. No, that's it, you've said it, we've got to do it now. So I'm back in tempo here. That's changing the pitch. I've got these knobs here now, which are distressing it and changing the age of it. It's quite subtle. So now we've got this drum sound happening. I'm going back to the old rim shot. It sounds better low. I've got this knob here that says noise. So I can bring this cassette tape noise in. I don't know if you can hear it. You might need headphones. And this has got a really neat trick up its sleeve. This drum machine, in that if I select the kick, hit duck, it's ducking that noise. So you just got it just vibes in a different kind of way, I suppose. So that's drum pattern 1. We're gonna. I think you were wrong, yeah. For drum pattern 1, we're gonna copy that across and start looking at putting some hats on there. I have to remember, how do I overdub MIDI? Oh, there, I think this is it. Let's see what happens. What the hell just happened there? Let's try again. Oh, come on, we can put a clap down as well. All right, we got it. Cool, I like that. Let's just listen to the arrangement now. Cool. Still not completely convinced about that key change, but maybe when we've got like a really super strong melody for the D part, it'll sound good. Okay, so we've got 3 sections. We've got a bit of a drum pattern. I wonder whether we should sound design this piano a bit and start to get something happening. I think what we're going to do is, because the piano is really handy to map out like the harmony and the structure of the song, but it's still way too, like standard sounding for what I want to do, really. Otherwise, we're just going to sound like every other schmuck. So let's fire up something else. We'll try and start to bring this together in more of a sort of modern way now. If I go into my plugins, I'm going to use Contact again. For anybody that doesn't know, Contact is a sampler by Native Instruments that does pretty much everything. It's incredible. And I just want something that's a bit different to the, just a standard piano. If we go into, you can sometimes get lucky with stacks. Let's have a look. Keys. straight away. And by doing that, we're leaving space for the bass to dance around it. And this play series by Native Instruments, it's cool. You can see at the bottom we've got all like these extra like macros, so we can affect the sound over time as well if we want. Let's just hop over and give it a go. And this just might be for the verse, I reckon. That's funky. And from my groove library here, I can just drag this groove straight over on here. And it's going to put everything in time. Let's just dial that back a bit. Let's get the Moog out, shall we? Now we have got a mini Moog, little fatty next to me, but I've just got this incredible Moog plugin by Universal Audio. I used it a little bit yesterday. Check this out. Woo! Not feeling it. Not feeling it. We're going to get a bass on it instead. My bass playing is not quite ready for this, so let's just grab a P bass sample for now. Where are we? Well, that doesn't sound great, does it? Maybe let's just bring some of that piano back in there. I don't know. All right, so we've got a bit of an idea now happening. I think this is going to come to life when we get a real bass on it. Okay, so we've got a verse, we've got a bridge. So for the bridge, we're going to have some different chords, different sound maybe. Or maybe that's where the piano could happen. It's going to be a trial and error, this. Let's just listen. Sorry. Then to the bridge. Obviously, we'll have the instrumentation. Get that. Still not convinced on this. Out of interest, what happens if we take the chorus and transpose it all down a semitone? No, I think it sounded better back up in D. All right, cool. I'm going to save this because we've got like the sections, and I honestly think that this is one of those jams that is going to be better when we've got the band in the room later on at the end of the week. All right, Jem. Definitely 100% this needs the band sound in order to bring it to life, so I'm not going to press on. So let's save it. Let's call it, what are we going to call it? Someone think of a name? Let's call it, what's Phil said? Raise the pitch of the rim click. Let's call it rim click. Actually, no, that sounds rude. Let's call it, what should we call it? It's wonderful, isn't it? It's some kind of wonderful. If that's already a song title, hit me up, but I don't think it is. Cool, let's do another one. So that's the third tune recorded in 3 hours. So let's start again. Let's do something else. What we're feeling, people. We can go evening all, don't bother to call me if the answer is no. Oh. Right, let's do, where do we want to go? Let's do something completely different. Let's get Machine out and let's do a jungle track. We're going to set the tempo at around 170, maybe. And up here, I've got my different groups. So these are all different expansion packs. And the beauty about using Native Instruments expansion packs, particularly when I've not got loads of time to mix, is that all of the kits in here, all of the sounds in it are like they're ready to rock and roll straight out the box. That good. So Yeah, we're feeling that straight away, aren't we? All right, so this is Machine that we're looking at. It's a hardware, software integrated like recording system. You can run it on its own. So like down here I've got the pads, which are very tactile, and you can run this with a piece of software called Machine, which is this window here, and you can run that on its own, and it's completely capable of doing like entire tracks. But I like to run it inside Ableton Live or in Logic or whatever, so that I've got all the flexibility of the DAW that I'm using with all of the sonic power of Machine. So I'm going to just rattle some ideas off really quickly, just so you've got an idea of how this thing works. Get a metronome going. In fact, I can do it all down here. Yeah, that's going to be tough. That's like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time. Woohoo! Come on. Oh man, this is tough. I'm on the spot when it's live. Hi, Paul Saxman Smith. How you doing? This could be a track for you. Who knows? I need to practice a few times. Ah! Oh, fuck you, Machine. There you go. That took some hassle, didn't it? Good lord. So we're going to duplicate this and have a slightly different pattern that's not got that little fill. So I can just shorten this. So that's just now a backbeat. Open a new pattern so we can get some sort of some like fills and things happening. Get another one going. So now that I've got these patterns, there's 4 patterns down here. And we can now start to, jump between them. Wicked. All right. So you all hear what's happening there now, yeah? Okay. What should we add to this? Yeah. So we've got to. Yeah, we'll put in the ride. It's like synonymous with jungle music, isn't it? So I think my main beat is this second one. Yeah, and I've got this note repeat, so I can note repeat any of the notes by any sort of. So again, for jungle music. And then in machine, we can start to do a little bit of mixing, because I already hate the sound of that tambourine, but I do want it in there somewhere. So I just hit mixer, and you should be able to see. Can you see the screen on machine? I don't know. Up here I've got some options. So just want a little bit of ride. All right. So now that I've got these 4 patterns, they're going to sort of provide the basis of this sort of jungly shuffle. I want to, like, what jungle does is it layers different drum sounds. So we're going to park this over on one side. We know that machine's over here doing that. I'm going to set a blank pattern so that we don't hear machine when it's playing by it. The other thing that happens with jungle music is you have like it's synonymous with speeding up old school breaks and old school drum patterns. So if I load up an instance of Contact over here, and I want to find some sort of vintage drum kit. In fact, I've got a 50s kit somewhere. Where are we? No, this is vintage drummer. Where is 50s? That's where I need to go to Specsavers. '50s drummer. We get there in the end. All right, so we've got like an old school kit here. Let's just try a different kit. I'm not convinced with that one. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This is the process I'm going to walk you through. What we want it to sound like is we're going to imagine James Brown's drummer playing the Amen break, dead slow, Clive Stubblefield. And then we've like put it on a tape machine and doubled the speed. Not only is the speed going to go up, but so is the pitch of the sample. So I'm going to dial back the tempo, make a note that it's currently 170. If I throttle it back, right, check this out. Let's put that in. Oops. Right, you with me so far? We've got like an old school drum break. Let's just tweak this kit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the kick drum out of the room sound. So I don't need much kick. It's more about what the hats are doing. Over here I've got like room microphones. Right, so you can hear that. Now what I'm doing, I've got a spare audio channel here, and I'm going to rename this break. And I'm going to take the audio from track 2, which is this break that I've just been playing. And we're going to arm the record, and I'm just going to record the break in as audio. Check this out. All right, so let's just mute off the old one. We now have this break over here. And what I can do is I can set the warp style, so how this audio warps. At the moment it's doing it, if I turn the tempo up or move it around, it'll turn the tempo up and slice up the beats as best it knows how to try and preserve that drum sound. I don't want to preserve the drum sound. I want to re-pitch so that as I dial up the tempo, the pitch of the audio goes up as well. Now this is a total experiment and it might not work, but let's see what happens. The gain, bring the gain up a little bit. So let's see what happens as I turn the tempo up. Then put machine with it and you get something like this. All right, so at the moment it's a bit messy. That's, that's fine. We can live with that. So what's the next thing that we're going to do to get our drums happening? Well, the next step is this break that I've made. We can start to play that in a different way. If I drag up, if I go to my, where are we? Instruments. Here we go. There's an instrument down here called Simpler, and it's a sampler, but it's a simple sampler, so to speak. And what this is going to allow me to do is to chop this break up. So I've got this break here. Down here I've got my simpler window. And I literally just drag this audio in theory. And then I can go in and slice it. At the moment it's done it by transient. What happens if we do it by beat maybe? Why is that not sped it up again? Just talk amongst yourselves while I work out what I'm doing wrong. So I start to cut it up and I can play it back. Now, maybe that's not the right way to do it. Maybe if I do it by transient. Don't know. So you can start to do these sort of stop-start effects with it. Man, it's a pain in the ass to do this. But, okay, well, let's just... let's go back to transient a second. So now what you can see on the bottom here is this audio file has been cut into different slices. Each one of these slices represents a different key on the piano roll. So then, in theory, I should be able to slice to new MIDI track. So I can lose this sampler. And now, each one of these represents a slice. What we can do is, that's quite quiet, isn't it? All right, so bear with me. This is a lengthy process. Nobody made jungle in a day. So I can now sort of take this, maybe get rid of slice 10 and copy slice 9 across, so we can get this sort of stuttering thing going. Then maybe put another kick drum, like the downbeat here. All right, so that's another way that we can start to break things up. So we've got two little drum patches happening. We've got the original break here. I'm just going to kill that off for now. Next thing we need to do is start to add some chords and things to this to start getting it sounding good. So over here, I can select my Rhodes, which you can't see. It's on the other side. Damn it. And because I'm using Universal Audio, I've got this little mixer here. On my Rhodes channel, I can turn on the preamp. Oops. Just a very quick look at that. And I'm going to compress it a little bit with this LA2A. Don't know if you can see that. This little dial in the middle is letting me know how much I'm compressing it by, so how much gain reduction. I want to compress it kind of medium-ish. That's too much. All right, that's my Rhodes going in. Here it is over here, so I'm going to rename this Rhodes. Let's get some chords going. Straight away, you instantly recognize that sound, don't you? It's groovy as hell. Let's go for it. I'm going to put down this chord sequence, and what I'm going to do is you can see here I've got these this lane of roads. I can just do various versions. So I might do a simple one, I might do one with some sparkles, and I'm just going to keep stacking them up if I can get a hand to it. It did sound nice with two hands, but actually, again, I'm going to leave space for the bass. So check this out. Then a contrasting idea. What have I just caught? All right, so we've got some chords. Let's get something happening with the sound of the roads. All right, we've got roads going, we've got some beats, we're going to put a big fat sub on it, it's going to sound badass. I will hold it in. This is, again, itching for some sort of vocal or kind of think like a big trumpet with like loads of delay. That sounds sick, but who knows. So, if I go to, I've got this synth called Massive X, and it is good for big fat basses. Dirty stinking bass. You might have to turn your speakers up or get headphones in because this is really subby. going to blow your tits off. Hang on. Nah, it's too nasty. That's it. That's the one. Let's do one because I can open up the filter with this mod wheel. Just to give it a bit. So it's always good with like subby basses. If you can hear like some of the upper frequencies, and this helps with that. Check this out. That is quite heavy, isn't it? Let's have a little look at that bass pattern. So apart from that little triplet there, everything else is like can be quantized to an eighth note, and I think I'm going to do it so it doesn't come out from slip away from the drums too much. You see that note there? How far behind it is. I don't mind it being a bit behind, but similarly here. So apart from that last triplet again, we're going to just quantize all these, get them bang on. Let's get that break going. I'm going to compress this break because it's just going to be in the background all the time. groove there. Now we need, like, in order to keep some excitement going, because obviously, like, the excitement will come in this track when we arrange it and we start doing things with the mix, because like with this kind of music, everything's so heavily affected by filters and beat repeats, and ways to sort of mess the groove up in real time. So at the moment we're just hearing the same loop, and nothing much is really cooking, and I think it's going to happen in the next stage. I think I do want to put like a little, like a string thing on the top. Thank you for the hardcore amongst you that have stuck around. I know it's a long time to watch a guy just messing around with sounds. I really appreciate it. If you are digging this, tell your friends if you think they're going to be into watching someone like mess around with production and coming up with ideas on the fly. If you haven't already, subscribe so you can be notified when this is happening again. We need some kind of strings. Do we make some on my synth, or do we just... Yeah, let's do something with the Prophet. I did say that I wasn't going to do like audio until next time, but we're allowed. It's my show. So over on my left, I've got my Prophet, which is a analog synth. Again, I'm going to just configure the input. So, oh shit. This instrument is an all analog synthesizer by Dave Smith Instruments called the Prophet. It's a Prophet Rev 2. It's like an upgrade. It's like the old Prophet 8, but with some added whistles and bells. So straight away you can hear, like, how different that sounds. So I could just go in and put and just see what sounds good. Cool, I'm just going to give that a name. So that's like a bell sound. I'm just going to track that straight in. Maybe get a bit more volume. And I'll show you this really quickly because it's going to give it the sound more character. Back in my console here, which is where all the audio is coming into the computer, on my Prophet channel here, I'm using this API Vision Strip, which is incredible because it emulates an old API desk. I want to get rid of all that low. I'm filtering the bottom end out, but I can increase the top end. It just adds a little bit more sparkle. You can see here it's been compressed quite heavily. Maybe I don't need that much compression. And it just gives it some sizzle. Listen to without. This is without. I guess that's not a like for like because you're getting gain, but you get the idea. It's adding a load of sizzle and sparkle to this sound. If you ain't familiar with the Universal Audio architecture, I suggest checking it out. They make incredible like audio interfaces, and they all just work harmoniously with like emulations of vintage kit. So let's put these bells in. Do you know what? This bell comes with a delay off the keyboard. We don't want that because we want to be able to affect it later. So I can. Where's the delay coming from then? I see. Right, so it's actually not a delay, it's some modulation that's happening to the pitch. You can hear it if I turn it up. So what we might do is record a few versions of this, so you can have like some that's quite simple and then some where it's a bit more messed up. Check this out. Now we're going to do a slightly more messed up one. And just for interest, can we mess with the tuning of it? Might have one that's a build-up. I mean, we can use the filters in Ableton, but this has got such a nice filter. I'm going to just do it in live, and I'm not going to bother quantizing it. We'll just I'm not going to bother turning this into MIDI. I'm just going to play it in. Check this out. And again. Okay, so we've got a bell sound in there, and all of a sudden this is now starting to sound like things are happening with this track a bit more. I'm going to dial the bell sound back, and let's track another sound from the Prophet, because it's loads of fun. Just going to reset this API Vision Desk. All right, we need like some sort of like filtery sound, I think. Going to kill the Rhodes off for a second. that sounds great, doesn't it? Jem's cancelled his Netflix. Yeah, man, Jem. We need some falsetto on this track, don't we? All right. So we're going to record a few versions of this. One's going to be like with the filter closed off, so it's just some of that padding, and then we'll record a few versions where the filter's going a bit more wild. Check it out. They sounded all right. I want to do another one that's mega long, so we've got like a big build-up. You feeling that? Come on, someone tell me that that's hitting the right spot for you. Just make sure that finishes at the right time. Yeah, it's 32 bars. That's the 32 bar fill. So now we can start to like mess around with this, get a bit of an arrangement. You can see here I've got all these different coloured clips that represent what's been going on. Now what I can do with that is I can trigger them from my Akai. You can't see it, it's not in the screen, but I can do it. Before I do that, back over on machine, I'm going to do something, a little trick. This is back where I made these patterns. Now what I can do, at the moment I'm triggering the patterns from this bit of hardware down here. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to do it inside Ableton, so I've got more flexibility. So what I can do is tell this machine to listen to Ableton. And do that by setting the input of this groove to a drum kit. So now when I drag out my patterns, so pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3, well, whatever you want to call it, and that little sort of roll thing. Then I go back to my blank pattern here. So now, we'll see, touch wood. So we're hearing then I can bring in machine. Here we go now. can already hear that the pad is fighting with the bass. So all we're going to do is scoop a load of bottom out of this pad. Go to the EQ, channel 8. Oops, not channel 8, I'm talking nonsense. EQ 8. And what you can see here is all of the harmonic information in this pad sound. And I'm just going to take all the fluff out. And this bass is so damn fat that I might have to do something similar to it because it's hogging all the bottom end. So we can just put another. Let's mess around with the arrangement. Let's drop the bass, put the Rhodes in with the bell. Here we go. Hang on, what's happened there? That first bell's not quite long enough, is it? It's 15, we need to make it 16 beats. We've got a... Can I do that? I think I can. In fact, we'll just make it... There we go. Have I done that anywhere else? Because that would mess us up. All right. Yes. All right, so you got an idea. That is starting to work now, isn't it? I think like we've got everything we need. The other things that we're going to add into this track over the coming weeks, we definitely need somebody that can do some MCing or just some shout outs, because like I definitely can't. So I don't know, maybe Tim Walker can do it if we can ask him, or if you know anybody in Sheffield that wants to come and do it, or if anybody's watching anywhere else in the world, if you want to fly me some vocals over, I can send you this out, because that's what's going to be needed for this track. Let's save it. What we're going to call it, can someone give it a name, please? Anybody? We need a name for this joint. Let's call it. Jem's put something about Netflix. Let's call it. Cancelled. This tune's called Cancelled because, you know, we got a lot of shit going on in the world. People are getting cancelled. Maybe we could write something about that. That could be quite an interesting topic. So we're going to call it Cancelled. Right on. So we have, just to recap what we've done today, we came up with, well, I came up with a little chord progression, like a gospel chord progression, and just mapped it out structurally. There's not much further I wanted to go with that without the band and without getting some lyrics and stuff, but I've just mapped out the harmony. We messed around with Tempo, which is a drum machine by Teletone Audio, to try and just get a feel for what that might sound like and just swap some of the sounds out. So that's going to be track number 3. We've just done a drum and bass banger. We used a variety of techniques. We sampled like a straight break and then pitched it up. We did some chopped up sampling using Machina. We've played some Rhodes in it, and we've had good old play with my favourite synth, the Prophet over there, to try and generate some like organic sounds for this. Tie that up to what we did yesterday with the hip hop track and that 80s thing. We've got 4 tracks for the album already, and it's only goddamn Monday. That being said, there's still loads to do. We might not use everything. So if you are digging this, make sure you subscribe, send it on to your friends. Tomorrow night, I'm actually on a date with the fiance, so I'm not going to be around to do the live stream. However, I will do it in the daytime and upload it for 7 o'clock. So if you come back at 7 o'clock tomorrow, you'll get whatever it is that I'm doing tomorrow. And I think I've got the same on... I've got a gig as well on Thursday as well. So yeah, maybe for the next few, they're not going to be live. This weekend, we've not settled on a date, but my band's going to come in and we're going to set up in this small room and we're going to write songs together and write grooves and just throw things into a melting pot for you. So we've got that to look forward to. So yeah, as always, hit me up in the comments, drop into my DMs, let me know what's happening, what you want me to do, what you don't want me to do. And share away, because I really do need the support. It's really helpful to me if people get on this, so I can develop this channel. So thanks again to everybody that's joined in. Crossfader. Yes, Jem, it should be called Crossfader, but you know, it's too late. It's going to be called Cancelled. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you. Well, you'll see me tomorrow night. All right. Love you all.